um, is a shareholder and investor and a prominent shareholder at that in the capital market. Permit me to introduce Mrs. Adebisi Bakari. She is a prominent figure in Nigeria, known for her involvement in various sectors, including finance and shareholding activism. She is the national coordinator of Charismatic Shareholders Association of Nigeria. Mrs. Bisi Bakari is a member of Statutory Audit Committee of Gereru Power PLC, GNI Insurance PLC, Azamaza Insurance PLC, Board of Trustees of MRS Oil Nigerian PLC, on scholarship and non-executive director of NACO PLC. Adebisi is a multifacial individual who has made significant contributions to various sectors in Nigeria. Her efforts as a shareholder, activism, as entrepreneur, and financial experts has been recognized and reported in the media on several occasions. Please permit me to welcome Ms. Adebisi Bakari as she takes us on the section of capital markets investor section. Over to you, Ma, Mrs. Bakari. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel. Good morning to all the participants. I want to start on the existing protocol. My name is Mrs. Adebisi Bakari. I'm the National Coordinator of Pragmatic Shareholders Association of Nigeria. I'm here this morning to present her paper on making capital market investments a lifestyle. This morning, we will look at what is capital markets. 2, why do we need capital markets? Meaning, what is the purpose of capital markets? 3, who are the major players in the capital market? 4, how do I become a shareholder of listed company on the exchange? 5, how do I identify a stock to invest? 6, what are the factors to consider when buying stocks? Firstly, I would like to appreciate the organizers of this forum for the invitation extended to me with regards to issues relating to the capital market. I spent over 25 years in the capital market as both an investor and an activist. I welcomed my fellow panelists, guests, and audience to this forum. It is my expectation that at the end of the forum, we will be able to understand capital market investment and its opportunities. For better understanding, we need to ask, what is capital markets? When it comes to investments, one of the most popular and profitable options is the capital market. Yes, it is a broad term that refers to financial markets where companies and governments raise long-term funds through debt and equity. It is also a market where individuals trade stocks through buying and selling of shares. The capital market is divided into 2 categories. 1, primary and secondary. The primary market is where new securities are issued, while the secondary market is where previously issued securities are bought and sold. That means where you can sell your shares as at when need. Then, why do we need capital markets? What is the purpose of capital markets? A, the capital market is an essential part of the economy of any nation. It provides the platform for companies and government to raise money for long-term development needs, to finance projects or for business expansion. B, capital market offers a wide range of investment options. Investors can choose to invest in stocks, bonds, mutual funds, exchange-traded funds, and other securities. C, The market is influenced by economic factors such as interest rates, inflation, monetary policy committee decision, that is MPC, gross domestic product, GDP growth, economic recession, politics, and national disaster. D. Investing in the capital market requires a long-term strategy. While there are opportunities for short-term gains, investing in the capital market is usually a long-term commitment. If you know you don't have time to stay long, please don't key into capital market. Capital market is for long-term investments. Therefore, the capital market provides investors with a range of options to build wealth over a long time. It is essential to understand the risks and reward of investing in the market and to get a well thought out strategy in place, meaning there is money there and also there is a risk applicable. What are the investment opportunities provided by the capital market? One, stock. Two, bonds. And thirdly, mutual funds. I won't dwell much on mutual funds because Mr. Sanusi has done that. I will start with stock. Stocks are known as equities representing ownership stake in a company. When you buy a share of the company, you become a shareholder of the company and you have a claim in the affairs of the company by virtue of the law. Stocks are considered high-risk investments. Have that one at back of your mind that stocks are considered high-risk investment since their value can fluctuate over time. However, they have the potentials for high returns by way of dividends and or capital appreciations. Bonds. Bonds are debt securities that represent a loan given by an investors to a company or government entities. When you buy a bond, you are lending money to the issuer who agrees to pay you back with interest over a certain period of time. Bonds are considered to be less risky. But that doesn't mean that a bond is not also risky. Bonds are also risky, but their own is less risky, just like mutual funds. Thirdly, mutual funds. Mutual funds are investment vehicles that pool money from multiple investors to purchase diversified portfolio of investments such as stocks, bonds, treasury bills, etc. By investing in mutual funds, you can gain exposure to a wide range of assets which can help to mitigate risk, as we can hear from Mr. Sanusi from his presentation. Therefore, understanding the different types of investment is essential for developing a well-diversified investment portfolio. Hence, before investing, try to evaluate the risk and return before decision making. Who are the major players in the capital market? One, the Securities and Exchange Commission. Two, the Corporate Affairs Commission. Three, the Nigeria Exchange Limited, NGS, the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria, FRCN, the National Insurance Commission, the Central Bank of Nigeria, the registrars, the stockbrokers, the financial advisors slash investment firms, and lastly, the Central Security Clearing System, CSCS. We ask ourselves, how do I become a shareholder of listed company on the exchange? By virtue of the extant laws, when you buy shares in any listed companies, you automatically become a shareholder of that company. You become a part owner of the company. You can buy stock by opening an account with a stockbroking firm. We in turn will help you buy or sell the shares, whether on the exchange floor or through initial public offering or right issues. How do I identify a stock to invest? I will advise all the listener that you need to do that. The first thing you need to do by joining a formidable shareholders association where you can get educated, create awareness, and build a synergy among the shareholders community. Furthermore, some investors actually invest in the stock market with a misconception. This is one of the major problems, and this has made them not to profit from the capital market. That's why I said earlier on that before you start to invest, the best thing to do is to associate yourself with the shareholders group in this country to advise you on when to buy shares and when to dispose shares. Therefore, the stock market is for a long time, which may yield you dividends or capital appreciation or bonus if you decide to stay long in the market. There is no way you can benefit from the returns in terms of bonus if you don't stay long. Short-time investors cannot benefit from bonus of a company they invested. Take for example, in the Nigeria market, we all saw Japan Ventures PLC shares move from 25 kobo to 1 naira 65 kobo by January 16, 2021. Within 6 weeks, with over 500 gain, 10,000 investments becomes 60,000 investments. Even without payment of dividend, you have already gotten your money back. We also saw Transcorp PLC shares moved from 1 naira to 20 naira between January 2023 and January 2024, which is almost 2,000% gain in 12 months. We also experienced recently Transcorp Hotels PLC shares moved from 10 naira to 100 naira between August 2023 and February 2024, which is almost 900% gain in 6 months. Please note that not all stocks experience this high level of price appreciation. Some actually experience decline in their share prices. What are the factors to consider when buying stocks? One, if you are a low-income investor, you must look for stocks with lower market value called penny stock. That is, stocks with lower prices are maybe less than 1 naira or 2 naira. But please don't go into, if you are a low income investor, don't go for any stock that is over 10 naira. Secondly, you must look for financial statements of the company in order to know if the company is making profits or sustaining the profits making or paying dividend and bonus. You can look at the such company 10 years dividend history. Is this company paying dividend for the past 10 years? Can I invest in this company? When last did this company pay bonus? And what was the shares of this company 3 years ago? What was the shares of this company 3 years ago? That will give you idea whether if I invest in this company within a year or 2 years, I will get appreciation on my stocks. Like Mr. Shanusi explained, it won't be good you purchase a shares at 5 naira, for instance, and maybe in another 2 years, the stock is already 2 naira. I believe such stock is not a stock one can invest in capital market. You have to invest in stock that when your stock is 5 naira today, in another 2 years, you can even keep your money in stock market. That is why it's a long-term investment. You keep your money in capital market, and within 3 years, if you know you won't need the money, you can put it there. In another 3 or 5 years, you can sell the shares. For example, a stock like Nestle, Seplat, GTB, IBTC, UBA, you that when you invested in them within a very short period, maybe like 2 years or 3 years, if you want to dispose your money, you will get your capital and your a kind of appreciation also. That is what they call capital appreciation and returns on investment. Having said that, thirdly, you must be able to determine the progression in the market value of the company on the stock exchange and various index and ratios, meaning that is the market value going up or down? I've explained that if it is down, definitely there is a problem with such company, and I believe you won't like to invest in such company. Then four, check out the caliber of directors on board of the company, their antecedents, integrity, and investment in the company. If you see a director of a company that has issue with EFCC, that has issue in maybe in political arena and so on, you won't be able, you will not be comfortable to invest in such company. Or you will see a company that the directors of the company don't have the either direct holdings or indirect holding. Of course, that shows that such director don't have hope in such company, and I believe as an investor, I won't invest in such company. Any company I want to invest, I will make sure that I will look at director's holding. Even if director don't have direct holding, what direct holding means, the direct holdings to the name of the director, or maybe the director is representing his or her company. So that's what they call indirect holding. So a situation whereby you see a director that doesn't have both the direct or indirect holding of his or her company, I will not advise any investor to invest in such company. Again, we need to seek professional advice, maybe from your stockbroker or financial advisor. Lastly, the capital market is wide and deep. It is practically impossible to cover the length and breadth in a short keynote address. I, however, hope that I've given an overview of the capital market to set the tone for deeper discussion and exploration of the subject matter at this forum. In conclusion, it is advisable that before you make capital market a lifestyle investment, you ask yourself, what is the purpose of my investment? Evaluate a risk involved and expected return in the investment before making a decision. Once again, I thank the organizers for the opportunity to address this forum. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Ma. That was a power pack presentation, I must say. Thank you very, very much.